Hi guys, and welcome back to Reed's Readers with your host, Clinton Reed. And yes, I know, I'm being all bougie with the veil from this cute little witch's hat I got from a friend in a book box. But I'm here to share with you guys the spooky, scary book tag. Ignore everything going off. I thought it was okay to be a little extra with this. I was tagged by Completely Melanie, and I will link her channel down below because Mel is like phenomenal and one of my best friends here on BookTube. I just absolutely love her. And everyone needs to subscribe to her because she's fantabulous. If you're not subscribed to her, then what the fuck? Like, yeah. And this tag was originally created by Shelby Masaka. I have the questions pulled up over here. I will link the original creator and everything. I don't know if I said her name right or not. God, I'm so bougie, but I just love the veil. I always wanted a veil. Seeing as I'm probably never gonna get married. This is my mourning veil for my love life being so sad. Whatever. I'm being a little too bougie now. But let's get into the questions. Question number one is, what goes bump in the night? Name a book that legitimately scared you while reading. I took this a little differently than most people would have done. It wasn't like a legit scared the crap out of me, like, oh my god, I can't sleep. But this one scared me in the sense of it had my adrenaline rushing where I was like, what's happening? What's happening? Oh, it's you? Oh my god, no, it's you. Oh god, what's going on? What's going on? Is she gonna live? Is she gonna die? Is she gonna live? Like, it had my heart racing and my anxiety going. Oh, and water and being trapped and just, oh, I have issues. It hit some of my my buttons. But this book I just recently read for Spookathon, The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sager. This book follows Emma Davis, who 15 years ago, three of her cabin mates just up and disappeared one night. 15 years later, she's going back to the same cabin, or the same camp, and staying in the same cabin. And things happen again. You just gotta see it. Like, this is a thriller that I would state, all I knew about it going into it is very much, it kind of sounded like a reverse Pretty Little Liars to me. But adult version. I will state, go in this blind, have fun, because with thrillers, I really love going into them blind. It's just, this book is just, ugh, so good. It's like so good. Like, oh my god. Yeah, that's what I would do for What Bumped in the Night. This out of the way. Put that there. Okay, it's kind of hard to see through this veil. Okay. Okay, that's gonna annoy. Sorry, guys. Okay, Question number two is Jack-o'-lanterns and classic costumes. A book you always reach for during the Halloween time. It sucks because I think this is the first year, and I don't know how many years, that I haven't picked it up, but I did read it earlier this year, so it's okay. And next month I'm reading the third book in the series, which I'm sure everyone knows my answer to this, and that would be Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. If you don't know what Harry Potter is, where the fuck have you been? Like, what? Have you been living underneath a rock? Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, J.K. Rowling. But yeah, I read this series every year. I tried to start a read along earlier this year, didn't really go well. But Melanie, at Completely Melanie, who I'm linking down below, is doing a Harry Potter read along because it's the first time she's ever read Harry Potter or seen the movies. Yeah, I made the same face. Just saying. And they're going to be reading my favorite in the series next month, which is Prisoner of Azkaban. And I figured I'm just going to start with Prisoner of Azkaban and carry on. I read the first two earlier this year, so why not? But yeah, I like to pick this up every year around this time, between like September to like anywhere between like September, November time. I like to pick these up for some sentimental reading, and it's just, yeah. And what better book to pick up than Sorcerer's Stone when it's very much got a chapter called Halloween. There's a troll in the dungeon. Thought you ought to know. Question number 3. Black Cats and Magic Mirrors. A book you loved that is laced with superstition and or magic. Now, Melanie stole my answer for this. She said Caraval by Stephanie Garber, and if you haven't read that, read it. But I was looking at my shelves, and I realized I had another series that is laced with lots of superstition, lots of magic, lots of mysteries, and everything. Just recently replaced paperbacks with some hardbacks. And I got kind of the wrong hardback of the first one. Wasn't supposed to get a large print. I didn't read the details on that. So eventually I'm going to get this not so big of a print. But my answer for this is the Diviner series by Libba Bray. This basically, the easiest way to explain this series is psychics based in the 1920s who help solve serial murder cases involving ghosts. Yeah. The weirdest thing in the world, but it is the greatest thing in the world. And I am waiting desperately for book 4. Because this series is by far probably in my top 5 favorite series of all time. Up there with Harry Potter, House of Night, How to Hang a Witch. Like, this had everything I wanted and more. If you haven't read the Diviner series, you need to check it out. Oh, when I mean large print, do you see that print? Sorry. Outrageous. But I'm in the mood for a reread of this series soon. So, yeah. I would love to read it, get with people, and hear their thoughts. Because it's just so good. Okay. If I don't move on, I'm probably never going to move on. So, which is Brew? Your favorite witch character in any book slash series? Instead of saying my favorite witch in any series, because let's be honest. Yeah, there's books missing because they're over there, and over there. Whatever. I'm obsessed with witches. Uh, I'm pretty sure if I'm gonna go favorite witch character ever, I'm gonna go either Willow from Buffy, uh, Phoebe from Charmed, Elphaba from Wicked. The list goes on. Luna Lovegood. Luna. Oh, sorry. I could have done it like that. Luna. But I decided to mention my favorite witch series, which technically only have 2 books out, and I'm still waiting for book 3. Woman. But, and it's a book series I feel like needs a lot more praise and a lot more hype. And I'm pretty sure anyone who has seen all my videos knows what my answer to this is. But my favorite witch books, my favorite witch series, is the How to Hang a Witch series by Adriana Mather. How to Hang a Witch, and then the sequel. No, yeah, you just sit like that. Haunting the Deep. How to Hang a Witch follows Samantha Mather as her father's in a coma, and she returns to Salem, Massachusetts, where she is the descendant of Cotton Mather, who inadvertently wrote the burn book that's. Let's go a little Mean Girls with it. Who wrote the burn book that kinda started the Salem witch trials. Yeah. And people are dying when she enters back in town, and she encounters the descendants of the other of the witches that were hanged and murdered and all that stuff. And crap goes down. And then you follow book 2, which brings in Titanic. Salem Witch Trials meets Mean Girls meets Titanic. What? This series is so good. If you have not checked out these books, where the fuck have you been? And they have my all-time favorite book boyfriend, which, no offense, Adriana, he might get a little, like, beat out by Thomas Cresswell, because he's the man of my heart right now, but I'm still in the middle of book 3. Y'all, is Elijah, and everyone knows I'm trash for Elijah, and I need a man like Elijah. I don't care if Elijah's a ghost, guys. He's my dream man, and I will bear his children. But I digress. Check them out. Mel, if you're watching, read this series. You would be in love. You too, Julie. At Pages and Pens. Okay. Question number 5. Ghouls and Ghosts. A book that still haunts you to this day. Good or bad? Julie at Pages and Pens is going to really love me for this answer. I read this book during Contemporary-thon, and I literally can't stop thinking about it. It's one of the best books I think I've ever read, and it, like, hit me emotionally, and it hit me. Let's just put it this way, I read this book in the best. I read it at the best time to read it, and I really, really connected with the characters. And I don't read a lot of contemporaries, so it's hard for me to connect with the character outside of like an LGBT contemporary. But let me just show you the book. The book that still haunts me today is The Serpent King by Jeff Zettner. It took me the longest time to read it because, for one, when I first picked it up from the library, I saw the Serpent King. I thought fantasy. Obviously not. But this book follows Dill, 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 Travis, and Lydia. Basically, as they go through their last year of high school and the stuff that happens. Dill's the son of a Pentecostal minister who urges him to handle poisonous rattlesnakes. And his father went to jail for, I do believe, underage pornography. Then you've got Travis, who dresses up like a wizard because he wants to disappear from the real world. Which, connection! And his father beats him, and he's called a fag, and all this other stuff, even though he's not gay. Then you got Lydia, the fashion blogger, who Paris is sending her items to show on her blog. It's such a weird cast of characters, but they just touch you. I will state when reading this, there was a part where I literally sat down the book for 2 hours and bawled my eyes out. Then went right back to it, finished the book, and bawled for a day. I have never felt so connected to characters of a book in a long, 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 long time. This is fighting for my number one book of the year. I've read some amazing books this year, guys. Which I can't wait till December so I can go over my 18 favorite books this year. And then I'm probably going to do series. That's not about this tag. There I go rambling. If you have not read The Serpent King by Jeff Setner, which, by the way, I forgot to mention this little tidbit, takes place in a town in, do you believe it's Tennessee? Isn't it white? No, Forest. Yeah, Forestville, Tennessee, which is named after the guy who started the Ku Klux Klan. As a gay male who grew up, in Oklahoma, essentially the South, Tennessee, essentially the South. Yeah, we're central, but we're pretty much Southerners with the way people act here and stuff like that. So I connected. Oh boy, did I connect. I'm going to move on to the next question because if I don't, we'll be here all day. Okay. Book number 6, Haunted Graveyards. You know, I didn't answer all these questions. We'll get to that in a minute. Haunted Graveyard. You're all alone in a haunted graveyard. You get one book to give you comfort. Which is it? I chose this one because everyone knows I love my LGBT contemporary. I feel like this one got a lot of hype when it first appeared, and then it kind of died out, and I don't know why. I read it this year for the first time, and I fell in love. These characters just made me laugh, made me cry. It brought a piece of my soul out. That makes sense? The book I chose was Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Ullery Sons. This book follows Dante and Aristotle, Ari and Dante, as they, 'cause, 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 ' book is so hard to explain, but it's so easy to explain, if that makes sense. Both are Mexican Americans. I want to say one's half. Ari comes from a poor family. Dante comes from a little bit higher up in the ranking of families. Not quite rich, but not quite poor either, because Dante's father is a professor of English. Dante's obsessed with like literature and all that other stuff. Ari's a little bit more rambunctious. They met because Ari wanted to learn how to swim, and just the friendship between them and the love between them just destroys you in the best possiblest way. This is one of the hardest books to fully explain. It's one of those books that you literally have to read it to understand why it's so good. And I hate talking about books like that. As I had just lifted that one up. Whatever. Apparently, I'm getting into those kind of books lately. And the chapters aren't that long. The audiobook, read by Lin-Manuel Miranda, Creative Hamilton. And that's another reason why I connected. I read this book at the right time. I'm due for a reread next year. Trust, this is going to be a book that I will reread once a year. It's like, I heard we're getting a sequel. You know, I just thought that was filigree. I didn't notice the book and the skull and the. Oh. Oh, I gotta pay more attention to the design. Sorry, I just noticed the little filigree stuff. I just thought it was filigree. I never really paid attention to what the items were. Oh my god. Sorry, but this is what I would take to the graveyard, because whether or not it destroys my soul, I will die happy. But yeah. The Undead. Favorite supernatural creatures to read about. Vampires, zombies, werewolves, etc. Are we surprised what my answer is for this? I'm obsessed with reading about witches. So I wanted to bring up another one of my favorite witch books, which I read this year due to Julia Pages and Pens and Chelsea at Chelsea Darling Reads were talking about this, and I pre-ordered it. I don't remember which one of them I heard about it, and then I had to get it because it's it's petitioned as like practical magic means hocus pocus, and I was like, I'm there, I need this. But that is The Wicked Deep by Shea Earnshaw. And I got it just in time for this gorgeous edition. This book follows Penny, who lives in a town where every year the spirits of three witches, which were wrongfully hung, come back, take over three girls in the town's bodies, and use them to lure three boys to the ocean and drown them. It's all you really need to know. But yeah, and it's just so pretty. And the British cover is just as stunning. Like, can we say, Shay, you've got the glitter on fleek, honey. And I realized I didn't choose the book for this one, so we're going to read it, and I'm going to choose the first one that comes to mind. In the dead of night, pick a book with a black cover. Do 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 do. Do I want to use that one, or do I want to use? I know which one I'll use. Oh shit, that's a blue cover. My bad, guys. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna choose one of my all-time favorite poetry collections, and that is The Princess Saves Herself in this one by Amanda Lovelace. This opened me up to a whole new genre of poetry. Before then, would only read like poems like by Robert Frost. Like poetry had to rhyme. But this little book here, which I read in an hour, broke me in ways I never thought poetry could. I was walking through Target, I do believe, and I was just flipping through. I was like, oh, that's pretty. What is this? And then I saw this page right here with words crossed out. The whole, I was born a little book mad. I could be found stroking the spines of my books while I sat locked alone inside my bedroom. All the while I hoped my books would spill their exquisite words over the lush green carpet so I could collect them one by one and savor them like berries inside my mouth. Forever a collector of words. Just like y'all. So we'll go with that one. And number 9, Trick or Treat. Depending on what we're talking about. If we're talking about a sweet little treat, then I will take that treat any day. But if we're talking about a book that tricks our minds and makes us think outside the box, I will forever go Trick. Because I love a book that could just take your mindset and go BAM! And you go, what? I don't know what did I just read? Did I really just cry for 5 days over a book? Did I just have a panic attack because of a book? Those are the books that like make everything amazing. But yeah, that's all I've got for you guys. Oh yeah, I want to tag 3 people. Because I feel like these 3 people could give us very interesting answers. I want to tag Charlie Books because I would love to hear her answers. I would love to tag Julie at Pages and Pens because she has such an insight in her books that I feel like she could give us like interesting, in-depth answers that could just make us go, huh, I never thought of it like that. And I also want to tag one of my good friends from Oklahoma who decided she wanted to join BookTube and is slowly making content on her channel. I want to tag Vivian Wormwood to do this tag because I'm actually curious what she would put for these answers. I feel like it'd be fun to see. But that's all I've got for you guys. If you like this video, give me that thumbs up. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button because I'm a hoot and a half. Actually, let's face it. Ya boy's a mess. Absolute garbage. But I digress. We'll leave you guys with this. Remember, kids, reading is fundamental. Until next time, happy reading, all.